How's it going, creator people? I hope you all are doing well. Today we're going to be going over a horsey video. This is a screen grab I took from earlier. This video is off of Facebook and requested by Chips on the channel. They call me Chips. So for those of you interested in learning about a little bit of horsey behavior, then let's get started. So first off, first thing I see is we see a bit in the mouth. We have a nose band here, which we'll see in a little bit, but things I look for is, well, we have a braided mane. So a lot of people, there's nothing wrong with, wanting your horse to look nice and whatnot, but if it doesn't, a lot of times braids and whatnot, it's not a benefit for the horse. The mane is there to keep them from getting sunburn, keep the flies off. So everybody who makes braids, if the horse shakes its head or shakes its tail, it'll whip itself with its tail. So that's the first thing I see with the totality of circumstances. Of course, we have a bit in the horse's mouth, snaffle. We have a nose band, keeping the mouth from opening enough to get the bit out. She has it obviously tied on this, it's a very fancy looking horse, has horseshoes on. I'm not a fan of horseshoes, unless you're really, really, working them. We have these two, I don't know what she's doing here. I don't know, tie downs, whatever you want to do. It's tied here, keeping the horse's head here at that roll cur. Unnatural bending of the neck, and it can't move its head. So it's not enough to have a halter on and tie it to this little saddle or cinch right here, but you have to have a bit in there too. And then she has the lead rope attached to the top of it, and she has a whip. So these are all things that I see in just this first second. So we'll see what she's trying to teach the horse. And I just muted it because there's, chewing, and this is apparently a stallion. So a lot of people like to have a stallion, and because they have a stallion and the stallion acts like a stallion, which is he can make baby horses, they act more wild than an intact dog or cat. I guess intact cats actually act pretty wild too, so more than an intact dog. So they, because people don't know what they're doing, and they have a stallion, which the only job for a stallion in a human world is to make babies. It's not fair to them to have one around if it doesn't have that job, because then they're more, aggressive. They're a stallion that, they need to have a herd to run and all that, and, or be wild. Otherwise, then they're just locked up, or they have all sorts of bits and tie downs and nonsense. I mean, this guy, we're going to see him start to foam up a little bit. Every time he moves his head and chews, because it hurts. This is pressing down on what they call the bars, which is a space in the jaw without teeth, and it's just gums covering it. And that's where this pain device was developed. So he's chomping at the bit because it hurts. He's trying to get it out of his mouth. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Constant chewing. He's irritated by the bit. But again, this unnatural curve, why? I don't know. I mean, she dressed all nice, and as is he, and he's, I'm sure, looks like a very nice golden color. I mean, I don't care about, a horse's coat is their curse. Their color is their curse. I mean, this unnatural bend, but never mind that, never mind the bit or the nose band or anything like that, or the pain the horse is in, because we've got him nicely braided. We got our hat, we got our nice, really fancy, I'm sure, very expensive equipment here. I mean, the horse is chewing because it hurts the gums and the teeth, and he's flaring his nostrils. He can't breathe properly. He's dancing on his back feet, kind of. He's very uncomfortable. Constant chewing on the bit. A lump of iron in the mouth. Come and see this beautiful braiding. The horse doesn't care about that. I don't care about that. This beautiful blanket. Nobody cares. Look how fast he's breathing. It's unnatural for him to be in this position, and he's only keeping his head here because he's trying to avoid the pressure of the bit. And of course, she has to have her hand on him all the time. I mean, this guy looks worried. He just looks so stressed. Nostrils are flaring because he's breathing. Horses can't breathe in through their mouth. They can only exhale, so they oh, lovely. Now this poor thing. Again, the tie down's there. She's got the top of the snap on his halter, and she's teaching him with a whip. I mean, you can use a whip for certain things, and you can teach a horse that a whip is not a scary thing, but people use and abuse it too much. I'm not saying she's abusing her horse in this situation, but she's teaching it unnecessary behavior. And if you want to do this and have fun and teach your horse something, a special dance, that's fine. But how often does this horse have to do this? And look at the how he has to do it. She can only do this by having his head tied down to his chest, with a bit in his mouth and a snap up here. And you're going to see her, this is unnatural. And every time he flicks his tail up, he'll swish his tail because he's uncomfortable. So she's showing you, see, I didn't scare him with the whip. I can touch him, but flinch. Flinch. Severe flinch. The horse called your bluff. He told your lie. He said, the only reason I'm standing here is because you have my mouth in pain tied up. My head is down. You have a snap on my nose. And you have this whip that I know what it means. She's trying to act like she didn't scare this horse when she literally just touched him and he flinched. Just swinging it, he flinched. And then she touches him and a severe jump. He also can't see what's going on behind him because you have his head tied down. Normally he would be able to turn his head, a little bit more at an angle to see where this is coming from. But he's blind, essentially. Poor thing. Jumping, swishing. He's still flinching. He's just not really throwing his head up more because this is keeping his head down. So this can make you think otherwise, that he's very trained. And it's not that the horse isn't trained, it's just that the person around him doesn't know what they're doing, and so they have to hold him down. This would be just like with the dog who's reactive or fearful of something, and you put a prong collar on him, or an e-collar, or I'll just say shock collar, or some other kind of slip lead or something high up here behind the skull, so that way when they try to run away, they can't because it hurts, and it looks like to the untrained eye, or just the ignorant eye, that they're trained, or they're perfectly fine, they're not afraid at all. Just lies. This poor animal. You can see he's starting to foam up a little bit. The animals foam up. I mean, the horses, God, he's chewing on it. Horses foam up in the mouth. Not because some people, I'm going to say idiots, will tell you, a horse foams up and lathers the bit so that way it fits in his mouth. That's not natural, okay? No animal is going to naturally have this kind of mechanism for a metal piece of iron in their mouth. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. That it's just a human excuse to remain ignorant and learn that you don't need any of this. You could just use a rope halter or a regular halter. You don't need a bit in their mouth at all. I don't care if it's a rubber bit. I don't care if it's a leather bit. You don't need anything in their mouth to control them. Even though this is a snaffle and not a big leverage bit, it doesn't matter. I mean, look at what she's done here. But horses do not just foam. They foam because they're stressed. You'll literally see them foaming up in the mouth and salivating. And it gets frothy in their mouth in this white foam because it's painful and it's irritating. And the mouth is saying, get this out of me. And this is every time he flashes his tail. I mean, how many times has he done this for her? How sore are his legs and his muscles? I mean, you try dancing like this with your head down to your chin. I'm sure it's very painful for this horse. And she has to keep him on such a short lead. She can only do it by using her whip. And I mean, this horse just looks so uncomfortable. He tries to move forward and she's going to snap him here on the nose. Moves him back. I don't know what she's trying to accomplish. Again, the dancing, this poor horse. And people are just so impressed with it. Okay, a little snap right there because she wanted him to back up. And then this is like the creme de la creme of, this is so not good for this horse. You can see, like, they weigh a lot. And they're not used to putting a lot of their weight on the back feet. This is not natural for him to stand for, you're going to see he's going to stand like this for a little while. And, also, he's jumping. He can't really correct his balance because they use their head a lot for balance. He's tied down with this stupid tie down here. And, you can see a little bit of the foam. And she has her snap and her stupid whip. And this is not a cute trick to teach a horse. This is so unnatural. Look at him flaring his nostrils. He's trying to breathe. He's trying to balance. He is fearful. Snap, snap on the nose. Snap. No, you stay up. Snap. Look at that. He is not your show pony. He is not, even for a dog, if you're using these kind of tools to hurt them and force them to do this, this is not impressive. This poor thing. This is not natural for him. And then, yes, let me smack you hard. The horse doesn't like it when you smack them. Look at that foaming. Stress. His ears have been back the entire time. God, look at how hard he's breathing. Chomping on the bit. Poor thing. And then that's where I ended it. But we're going to take a look at also, I think in this, I make a point to show you the comments. So right here, top fan. He is so beautiful. His color is fabulous. Gorgeous boy. I mean, of 1,200 comments, so many people love this, and this is what they see. And yet, this person actually has a brain. They've had horses for 50 plus years, doesn't really necessarily matter, but, so to the critic who said most of these people have probably never had a horse, this person is saying they are not one. So they're used to horses. Other people who are, getting on, my case, or who would be getting on someone's case similar to what I'm saying, which I'm saying this is cruel, this is not natural, this is not good for the horse. And then other people will be like, oh no, yeah, you've never had a horse, it's fine. No, this person says they are not one. Horses tense as hell, absolutely. Side reins far too short. He doesn't need side reins, period. Serious concerns about this beautiful horse. Good. This person and apparently 486 people had a brain too. But this is not, a lot of what humans do with animals is not natural, but this is just the way she's doing it, and for as long as she does it. I don't care, you can teach your horse a lot of cool things, and it doesn't have to be at the horses that they have to pay for it. Obviously, this is not natural. And making them hop like a dog on their back feet or walk. She's using the whip there, and poor thing. He's fighting so hard to stay balanced and not fall over, and God, that poor thing. Can't breathe. Poor thing. So, again, I'm so sorry, little horse. I don't know what they said his name was, Hasbro or Brasado or something. So anyways, that will be it for this video. There will be more coming for you, Chips, and for anybody else on the channel that likes horsey stuff. This, just like dogs, it's just as prevalent in the horse world and everywhere else. So hope you got something from this video. Hope you let me know what you think. If you like the video, you can like it. If you didn't like it, you can dislike it. If you want to subscribe, that'd be awesome. You don't have to, but I would certainly appreciate it, of course. Thanks to all my new and existing viewers. Go give your little critters, like this poor little guy, a little hug and a kiss, or just some way that they appreciate, a little howdy-do, give them a little carrot or something. And until next time, stay positive.